stopped in front of two big metal gates which led to the Johnsons' large home. Ornate metalwork wrapped around the tall bars, creating an interwoven pattern of two dragons locked in battle. As we waited for the gate to open enough to allow the car through, I noticed that Becky wasn't rapping her fingers on the dashboard or sighing every 6 seconds, as she had only a few hours before we'd left. Her fly was finally at her side. I looked up through my window at the canopy spread out above us as we made our way up the winding path. The huge trees leading up to the house always took my breath away. Round ball lanterns ran on a line throughout the trees, and at night Lucille lit them, and the effect transformed the big oaks into a fairy tale landscape. She drove down the driveway, and I smiled again at the water feature looming in front of the entrance. Lucille was a true artist. She sculpted, and I guessed her taste in art leaned more toward the twisted side of things. The water feature consisted of the head and torso of a fish arching its back, while the bottom was a woman's legs doing the can-can. The latter was a magical spell that made her art come to life as water streamed out of the fish's mouth. The first time I saw it, I couldn't stop staring at the sculpture. Thinking back, I had found it a bit creepy, but the more I got to know Lucille, the more I loved it. She parked the car in front of a 3-door garage, and we all climbed out in a heap. "Rosa, we're home!" Lucille yelled as we entered the large oak door, and she put her bag on a mahogany table in the dining room. Rosa had worked for the Johnsons for the past 15 years. She didn't seem like the help, and was treated more like a hands-on granny that made a mean coq au vin, just like Dad used to. Turning away from all the excitement, Sammy followed me up the stairs to my room so George and Becky could have a bit of alone time. Walking into my sanctuary, deep orange, trimmed in black lace drapes, welcomed me. Sammy opened the door that exited onto a small balcony, and fresh air blew the curtains back into the room in a flowing wave of fabric. I put the purse Lucille had bought me during our first shopping spree on the dresser and glanced quickly at myself in the colossal mirror. Sammy made herself comfortable on the king-size bed covered in a matching orange comforter with black vertical stripes. Black and white pictures of cities hanging from one bright orange wall opposite the bed, and small lights mounted into the ceiling. This had been my room for the past 2 weeks. Lucille said it was mine whenever I came here with Becky. I'd never had a room of my own. Or, let me rephrase, I'd never had just one room to truly call mine. I'd had close to 60-something rooms while living on the road with Dad.
"Elena, are you sure you want to come home with me next week?"
Sammy asked, paging through the TV device on her lap.
"We don't have this."
She waved to the entire room.
"Or this."
She lifted the device in her hands to further her point. "I don't care what you have," I said as I brushed my hair and tied it up into a sleek ponytail. "For the next 4 weeks, Becky will be glued to that boy's ass." She laughed because she knew it was true. "Besides, I told you before, I'm not a materialistic person."
"Yeah, I know. Still, you won't have your own room, and our house is the exact opposite of Becky's."
"I don't care. I'm actually looking forward to meeting your mom and dad." I smiled.
"You mean the infamous night villain King Albert claimed?"
I giggled. Sammy's father was the dragon the greatest king alive had claimed 220 years ago. The king hadn't been born with the mark of the Dragonians, but it hadn't stopped him from claiming a dragon with the most ferocious abilities of all. "I can't wait," I joked. But deep inside, my nerves were doing some sort of twist. I'd disrespected her father and the king on our mission when I had insinuated that Blake might have a Dragonian, just not one born from the queen.